Good afternoon. Welcome to Jim Munley's World of Weather. Clicked on to long-range weather forecast discussion for January 6th, that's 26th, through February 7th. For January 26th to 30th, the flow remains amplified, and we're going to go back here. Flow remains amplified, and we're expecting a ridge here, trough, positive anomalies here across the North Atlantic. But if you look at the indices, the AO is forecast to trend negative, and it's currently slightly positive and expected to generally trend negative for the next 2 weeks. And the current positive AO is reflective of mostly negative height anomalies across the Arctic. I don't know if you can see that. You can see a little bit here across the Arctic here, and mixed height anomalies across the mid-latitudes. That's here. We have a ridge, trough ridge configuration. And if we look at the AO, the NAO, is currently positive with negative height anomalies across Greenland. We're going to go back to that. Well, we had negative height anomalies and mixed height anomalies across the mid-latitudes of North America, but this is expected to trend negative as height anomalies turn mostly positive across Greenland. We're having that right now. And this is the consensus among the models is a degree of development of shortwaves traversing the cold trough here in the eastern U.S. The area from the northern plains to the northeast. Let me see if I can do that. Now, I just had all these loading, and now they're not loading. Okay, let me see if I can get there. It's 23rd. You can see here, we'll experience a couple episodes of snowfall, and the northern plains late in the weekend will progress into a higher valley, and the lower Great Lakes to New England. So we'll go to the weekend. And you can see we have some snow here across this region. Now, also, Southern Stream Energy will produce a brief period of enhanced rainfall across Texas, and then waves will progress across the southern Gulf of Mexico and produce locally heavy rainfall for parts of the region. The threat has lowered for a potential meaningful precipitation maker along the southeast and mid-Atlantic coast, but there's still a combination of an Atlantic low and a Midwestern system that could create some snow across the Northeast. Okay, now we're going to look at the period for January 26th through February 2nd. Or the 29th to February 2nd. We're going to go here to the 29th. The dates are wrong. The models are indicating the patterns remain the same. Still strong ridge here, deep trough here. And we're going to have that this upper low here across the Hudson Bay will sink southward. And we'll watch. I'm going to go in motion. This is the GFS, and then we're going to look at the GEFS. All have it, even the ensemble means, and even the NAEFS, all have it sinking here across the Great Lakes. And there'll be multiple, but also during this period for January 29th through the 2nd, pieces of upper level energy will move around the cold upper trough, and these disturbances could reorganize near the Gulf or along the East Coast, and then move northward and pose a threat of a major winter storm threat for the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. So that happens with any kind of, when you have any kind of this setup. So that has to be watched. So miles of good agreement. So for this forecast, I'm forecasting below normal temperatures for a large portion of the nation, and I'm forecasting anomalies of 12 degrees will be possible below normal. And we have above normal temperatures for the far western U.S. and the forecasted anomalies of 4 to 6 degrees above normal. And for precipitation, calling for below normal precipitation for this region. And the probability of occurrence is 35 to 45%. And then we have above normal precipitation forecast for much of the area east of the Mississippi River. Probability of occurrence is 45%. Now we're going to look at the period for February 3rd to the 7th. Now, we still have above normal heights here in the west, below normal heights in the east by some of the models here. You can see it here. But this is the European ensembles. But the height anomalies are not as intense as they were in the previous period, but they still are there. So for this forecast period, I am forecasting above normal temperatures for much of the west. I'm forecasting anomalies of 4 degrees above normal, and then I have below normal temperatures for the east central states, and I'm forecasting anomalies of 4 to 8 degrees below normal will be possible. And for precipitation, calling for above normal precipitation here and here. Probability of occurrence is 45%. And I'm calling for below normal precipitation for the southwest. Probability of occurrence is 35%. That's the long range weather forecast discussion for January 26th through February 7th. That's it for today, and have a good day.